Hi, hope having a great day. You're watching JG Entertainment, and for this video, I'm going to rank in the episodes of Hawkeye from worst to best. Because I am going to rank them, I'm going to be talking about the story and the plot points. So this video will contain spoilers for Hawkeye, so please be aware that this video will contain spoilers for all episodes of Hawkeye, including the finale. So if you haven't finished the finale or you haven't seen the show at all, then please leave the video right now. I don't want to spoil the show for you. But yeah, allow that anybody that didn't want to get spoiled left. Yeah, let's start with this ranking. But before I start with the ranking, please just leave a like. It'll be very helpful. So please leave a like to subscribe for a lot of other content, Spider-Man home content, Hawkeye content, the Doctor Strange teaser content, all that type of stuff. Subscribe for all that content that's coming and stuff that has already been posted that you can check out on my channel after this video. And lastly, make sure to comment below your own ranking of the Hawkeye episodes. I'm definitely very curious. I'm sure there's gonna be like very mixed opinions on this. So tell me down in your comments your own ranking of the Hawkeye episodes. Okay, now let's get started. Okay, now let's start with the ranking. So last place or sixth place is going to be episode 2 of Hawkeye. In this episode, I wasn't a big fan of. I still liked it. I still found it kind of enjoyable. It was just some enjoyable things about it, but overall, it wasn't for me. For example, this episode is the one where Clint and what's his name, Kate Bishop finally get together and everything, and then they separate on their own separate ways. But first they have like this apartment fight, which in my opinion the apartment fight was super silly. The thugs are really bad. Like the thugs are the what do they call it, Tracksuit Mafia is really bad, to be honest. They really suck. And then after that we see like they go the separate ways. Kate Bishop kind of goes on her own way. The detective calls her, which never comes back. Then she fights Jack with the spear sword, which was actually a pretty cool scene, which is why I ended up enjoying the episode a lot. I thought that was a pretty cool scene. And then Hawkeye ends up going LARP fighting for the suit, which I thought was pretty lame. I'm not going to lie. I was like, okay, I feel like I'm wasting my time watching this. This isn't really what I want to see from Hawkeye. And it just took like this completely silly route that I really didn't like, at least personally for my own taste, which is why I say that different people can have very different opinions, because according to their taste they might love this scene, but for me it was not for me. I really didn't like it. I was like, okay, there was some funny moments in it, but overall I still thought it was like a waste of my time, and I felt like we basically got nowhere from the beginning of the episode to the end of the episode. It was like, with the exception they got the suit now, but that could have been very easily just evaded if at the start of the episode they had gotten the suit in the first place. So it was just like, okay, kind of like a filler type of episode, with the exception that Kate Bishop and Hawkeye met. But that's pretty much it. So yeah, not really for me. So yeah, that's why it's in last place. Moving on to my number 5 spot, and that is going to be episode 1. And episode 1 is just a little bit better than episode 2 for a couple of reasons. First is the introduction, the intro, which I thought was a cool scene. I didn't like that the kid kept screaming "mommy" and all type of stuff. It was like really weird. She just really kept screaming that. But I thought it was a pretty cool made scene from Hawkeye and everything. It wasn't like the intro that everybody was overhyping, being like, "Oh my god, what a great intro." It wasn't that. It was just a good intro. So yeah, but it was still pretty good. Then Kate Bishop knocking down the bell tower was pretty funny. I thought it was pretty funny. But then from there, Kate Bishop's story kind of gets really slow, really kind of not really. It's more like an introduction, so of course it's going to be slow because you got to get used to things. So it's like, okay, whatever. Meanwhile, Hawkeye's story is actually pretty interesting this episode. They have like the Rogers musical, and he really is like mooring Natasha, and he sees like the stars. This Thanos was right, which was also like really sad, and he's really fighting his own battle and everything, which I'd really like to see the repercussions after Endgame and everything has happened. I really enjoyed that. I thought everything with Hawkeye really worked in this episode, which is why I really liked this episode. Meanwhile, I thought the things with Kate Bishop were like okay, and so I thought it started off really good, then it went really okay, really slow, really fast. The introduction to her mom, to Jack at that party, it was kind of like okay, fine. And then at the end, whenever she fights whenever she gets Ronin suit and starts fighting, it starts to get interesting again. But overall, I thought it was a good introduction to the season or to the show in general, but not really like the best episode by any means. That's why it's my number 5th episode. On my number 5th spot, episode 1. Okay, moving on to my 4th spot, and that's going to be episode 5. Talking about episode 5, my number 4 spot is episode 5. And episode 5 was actually an episode that started off really good. Started off with Yelena Belova freeing Black Widows, which I thought was pretty awesome. Then she got blipped, and then she came back, and we saw the blip from somebody that got blip perspective, which I thought was a really new perspective to the blip. it was really just like an instant for them, which is like terrifying, I'm sure. So yeah, I thought that was great. And then the scene between her and Yelena, the whole scene, the macaroni and cheese scene, that I'm here to kill Clint scene, like all that whole scene was just really well done. It really worked for me. I thought that was a great done scene. I was like, wow, that's really great. I really enjoyed that by a lot, like a lot. So everything from the first half of the episode, which is with Yelena, really worked for me. I think Yelena really came into the show and she really started stealing the show for me. So yeah, everything with her really worked. Meanwhile, the thing with Hawkeye didn't work so much. Like he kind of felt like he was running in circles. He got the Ronin suit and then he went with Echo to tell him not to fight his family. And that whole fight scene was okay. It wasn't great. It was like okay, fine. I didn't feel like this episode really got nowhere. Like I thought the first half of the episode was really good because Yelena, you really got like her perspective, and then from there I felt like the episode, instead of like keep going because we're right there towards the finale, it kind of really slowed down and it just gave us another Echo versus Hawkeye fight, which is like already going on anyways. And Hawkeye revealed his identity as Ronin, and it was like after Echo already kind of figured that out. So everything like that it really didn't work for me. The fight scene wasn't great either. The only really thing that we needed was that he revealed that Kingpin tipped him off to kill her father. But I still thought that was like, the ending was really cool though. Whenever we see Kingpin in the show and Eleanor, and then he's like, whenever Kate Bishop's like, who's my mom? And he's like, that's the guy I've been worrying about this whole time. The big guy, Kingpin. That was a pretty cool scene. So the ending, it finished strong and it started off really strong, but the middle really lost me. So that's why it's my number 4 spot. Okay, moving on to my third spot, and that is going to be episode 3, so it's kind of ironic. Third spot, episode 3, pretty funny. Okay, and episode 3 was actually a really good episode. I really enjoyed this. I thought episode 3 was a really strong episode. So basically the top 3 episodes I think are really good. Meanwhile, the bottom 4 are like, okay, fine. I still enjoy them, but they're okay. These top 3 are really good. So episode 3 is really good. It was really short, but it was like it was really good. So it starts off with the introduction of Echo, which is why I think the episode is called Echo, so that's pretty cool. And it started with the introduction of Echo and how whenever she was little to her dad getting killed and everything, and it really moved. It was really moving, and it really made us sympathize with Echo and see where she's coming from. And then from there, we see her have some moments with Hawkeye and Kate Bishop. And we start to see where she's coming from. And then from there, the rest of the episode is just a really good action sequence from the Toy Story action sequence, which is actually really well done in my opinion. I thought it was very well done, from Hawkeye like hiding in the toys and like shooting the cabinets down to people, and then getting to like the pool of just the balls, colored balls, was pretty cool. To everything really worked with that fight scene. And then the car chase scene, which is really cool. It was like a one shot, and the way it was filmed was just really awesome. I really enjoyed that. I was like, wow, it's a really well done scene. So then whenever they're like in the highway and they use like the big Hank Pym arrow and everything, I thought the whole thing just really worked. We start to see trick arrows, which is really cool in that episode. I really enjoyed trick arrows. I'm gonna talk about that whenever I talk about the finale. But yeah, episode 3 just really worked for me. Like I said, it was just like this really huge action sequence that made Hawkeye and Kate Bishop really bond, and they made us understand the villain Echo a lot, and they really made us sympathize with her. And at the same time, we got, like I said, a really cool action sequence. So this episode really worked for me. It was really short. The cliffhanger was effective whenever we saw Jack had the sword on Clint Barton and everything. So I thought it was a great episode. Not the best. It didn't have a lot of character development or nothing, but it just worked as an episode really well, and it was really entertaining. So that's why it's my third spot. Also, another thing that just really worked from episode 3 was that scene whenever the younger son of Clint calls him, and Clint can't hear him because his hearing aid is broken. So Kate Bishop starts translating him what he's saying by writing it down, and that whole scene just really worked. It was super touching, it was super emotional, and it really helped the two characters bond, and it just made it for an amazing scene. It was perhaps one of my favorite, if not my favorite scene from the show. I don't think it's my favorite, but it's in my top 3 favorite scenes from the show. So it was just a really well done scene. It was really incredible. It really portrayed the loss that the sadness of Clint's life. Like, he can't be there for Christmas with his kids. He's missing out on these moments. While at the same time, he can't hear his own kid, especially whenever he's like, it's so good to hear a voice, but he really can't hear him. It was like, it's just heartbreaking, and it just made for like this really incredible scene that I just absolutely enjoyed. So that also puts this episode up a spot. Okay, we're on to my second spot, and that's my runner-up, and that's going to be episode 6, which is the finale, which just came out yesterday, or if not 2 days ago. It depends on whenever I post this video or whenever you're watching it. But the finale was actually a really good finale. I think it was like a good finale. I had a lot of problems with it, but also had a lot of things that I really loved from it, so that's why it's my number 2 spot. It could be put on to my number 3 spot. I was kind of debating that before filming this video, so maybe like a week later, I changed my opinion, and it's actually second spot, and then this episode is in my third spot. I'm not entirely sure, but this episode, like I said, had a lot of good things. So for starters, the introduction of Kingpin was really well done. At the very start in the intro, I thought he really worked. He was really intimidating, and I was like, Kingpin, he's a boss. He's a boss. And especially just to see Vincent D'Onofrio back as Kingpin was just awesome. I was like, let's go. I was really happy about that. And then the Kate Bishop and Clint really bonded, and I thought when every time they were on screen together, it really, really worked. They really felt like true partners, and I was like, yes, like it was really awesome. Then Yelena was another thing that really worked for me in this episode. I thought she was awesome, especially her fight with Clint Barton about how Natasha died was extremely awesome. I really, really enjoyed that scene, and I was like, wow, okay, that's awesome. That's super cool. It was a really cool raw fight scene, while at the same time really emotional fight scene. It really touches the heartstrings, and I was like, this is a great fight scene. Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova continues to steal the show for me, honestly, and I just thought that was really, really well done. Then there's the fight scene with the Trick Girls with Kate Bishop and Yelena. With Kate Bishop and Yelena, with Kate Bishop and Clint Barton against like all the thugs and everything in like the middle of the ice skating. That whole thing really worked for me. All the Trick Girls was just awesome to see and to witness. I was like, oh my god, there is so much Trick Girls. This is so cool. This is so awesome. So just to see them use it was super awesome, and that whole fight scene really, really worked for me. I was like, that was an amazing, amazing fight scene. Then let's down to the episode, and that is a lot of the humor really fell flat, especially with the side characters that do LARPing. They were honestly so annoying throughout the show. Like, I get that, like, cops and everything, they're like these people, but they seem nothing like professionals. Like at the finale, which is this episode, whenever they're told to take out people, they were not professionals. They were just like, this way, and then they get their LARPing suits, and I should listen to them. Like, whenever they got the LARPing suits and like the camera like was on them and they played like epic music, I was like, I don't feel any epic here. This is really cringy. This is really bad. So that lost me. Kingpin, after the introduction, was really, really kind of like a joke. He was more like a cartoon character. So I really didn't like that. And Maya's storyline, or Echo's storyline, whatever they call her, was really, really rushed in this episode. I was like, wow, okay, like she just went straight to kill Kingpin, but there wasn't any build up to it. There really wasn't. I mean, it was just like, okay, I guess. Like her storyline was super rushed in this episode, in my opinion, and it took the back seat. That's what was the least entertaining one. So it really didn't do justice at all. And I felt like they were trying to fit too much in this episode that just didn't work. There were some things that really worked. Like I said, Yelena versus Hawkeye. The best part of the episode, in my opinion. I thought it really worked. Clint Barton and Kate Bishop's partnership really, really worked for me. I thought that was awesome. Kingpin and Echo didn't work for me. The LARPing people didn't work for me, and Kate Bishop and her mother didn't work for me at all. I thought Jack fighting was actually pretty cool. At the same time, it was kind of cringy, but it's okay. I wasn't gonna allow it. It doesn't matter. The action was solid. It wasn't like the best. It wasn't like, oh my god, this is incredible, but it was really good. So yeah, I thought this episode was really good. It had a lot of things going for it, and then the end of it really was like, oh, that's really good. That was really good. Except for the post-credit scene. I don't want to talk about the post-credit scene because I still don't know how I feel about it. But yeah, that's why it's my second spot. I thought it had a lot of great things about it and a lot of bad things about it. But I think the great really outmatched the bad. So that's my second spot. Okay, moving on to my first spot, and obviously this is the only episode left, and that's going to be episode 4. And episode 4 for me was the best one by far. I thought it had the best moments. From starters, we start to see that they start putting the seeds in Clint that Kate Bishop can't get hurt. As soon as if Kate Bishop gets hurt, then this gets bad. You know what I mean? So we start to see that those seeds planted by the mom of Kate Bishop, who tells Clint that. So it's like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. And then after that, Kate Bishop goes and follows him, and then like they watch like Christmas movies together, ugly sweaters and that type of stuff, and she's really trying to make his holidays happy. And I thought that whole thing really, really worked. I was like, oh, that's really nice. That's really awesome. And I thought that whole scene between them, they really, really bonded, and I just really, really enjoyed that scene. Whenever he's teaching her to knock out somebody with a coin, that was really awesome. I was like, oh, that's so cool. They're just really bonding. And then they have like this really emotional scene whenever it's like, what was the best shot you took? And then he was like, nah, the best shot was the one I didn't take. And he starts talking about Natasha. That really, really worked to me. I was like, wow, that's some deep stuff. That's really, really good. And then she points out that he's Ronin and everything, and the whole thing just really, really worked. That whole scene was very well acted. From Kate Bishop to Clint Barton, that whole thing was really, really, really well acted. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. And then after that, the finale of the episode, which is whenever they go and have the action sequence between Echo, Yelena, and Kate Bishop, and that whole thing was just very, very well done. First of all, the action was really cool. It was super awesome to see Yelena finally into the show. I was like, yes, Yelena's into the show finally. And they had some great emotional moments, like whenever Yelena drops Kate Bishop off the building, and you know it's like the same position between Natasha and Clint and Kate Bishop and Clint to Kate Bishop and Clint, and he's like he really doesn't want to fight anymore. He's like, you're gonna get hurt, I'm done, and the whole thing just worked really well, and I thought that whole scene really worked emotionally and action wise. It was super entertaining, and I thought it, like, between Clint Barton's fears of losing his partner again, I thought the whole thing just really worked, and really I thought this episode was the best episode because, like I said, I thought it gave us the best emotional moments, the best action, the best surprises, and Yelena, and it worked all the way. So there's everything I wanted from a Hawkeye episode, and that's why it's my number one spot in the episode ranking. So yeah, tell me what your own ranking is down in the comments. I'm definitely very curious which ones do you agree with in my video, which ones do you agree with, do you agree with my ranking, do you disagree with it? I'm definitely curious. Or tell me your own ranking on the comments. I'm definitely very curious. So tell me that down in the comments. As well, subscribe for a lot of other content. You can check out what happened to Kingpin after he got shot. Is he really dead? Is he not really dead? And what can you expect from him in the MCU? Definitely make sure to check it out. I definitely think you'll enjoy that video. Or you can also check out my Spider-Man No Way Home spoiler review right here if you're interested. Especially if you're like me that really loves Spider-Man No Way Home, then check it out. I definitely think you'll enjoy it. And lastly, make sure to leave a like. It's very helpful, so please leave a like. It really helps our video, so please leave a like. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And this is J Entertainment. Out.